Hey guys, this is the Low Tech Redneck. I'm going to try to keep this, turn this phone off, turn this phone off, turn that fan off so you guys can hear me if you so choose. I try not to be political on this channel, but it's gotten to the point to where I can't be silent anymore. So I want to give you guys a little background information. I'm going to try to keep this video short. I am a veteran of the United States Navy. I am a conservative Republican, and I am a gun owner and a member of the NRA. Saying that, I'm going to say that I do not agree with anything that the current administration is doing. I think they have done a horrible job on every single aspect of what they do. They have allowed the inmates to run the asylum, and it is going to take years to fix the damage that these people have done. I'm not going to say much about Democrats going into politics broke and coming out millionaires, but basically that's kind of all of them to a degree, Democrat and Republican, so I'm calling out the Republicans too. Just not as much. Now, first things first, technically second things. This is the international symbol for 2. Guess what? That's how many genders there are. 2. If you think there's more than 2 genders, you need to go get yourself in one of those white jackets that straps around and locks in the back, and have yourself committed, because there's something wrong with your brain. Okay? Now, there's a difference between gay and being transgender. If 2 men want to fall in love and get married and live happily ever after, that's perfectly fine with me. I don't care. What you do behind your closed doors is your business, not mine. And I will not say anything about you or against you. So go for it. Live your best life. But I do have a problem with a full-grown man running around in girls' clothing pretending to be an 8-year-old girl. I'm going to mention any names, but this person's initials are Dylan Mulvaney. I've seen a couple of video clips of this idiot running around his house dressed like an 8-year-old girl, like ad-libbing an actual little girl's voice to this video, and it's ridiculous. It's sad. Now, 20 years ago, they would have locked that person up and thrown away the key at the mental institution. But with today's climate, the people in charge, they tend to ignore it. I mean, hell, half the people in the cabinet of this acting thing that they call the president now are either wearing blinders or a part of the problem. I mean, you got that weird looking dude with the red dress that steals people's bags. You got that other heavy-set older white guy in a wig pretending to be a female, but you're not. You're not a woman. You're never going to be a woman. You're a man in drag. That's how it works. I don't care if you cut your junk off. I don't care if they make a vagina. Like, you're never going to be a woman. You physically cannot be a woman. That's just biology, simple biology. You can't be a woman, and a woman cannot be a man. Case in point, get a transgender man and a average physically fit woman. Put them in the UFC, train each one for 6 months, and make them fight each other. Who's going to win? 90% of the time it's going to be the man, because the man's going to be bigger, stronger, and quicker. Now, I'm not saying that the woman can't get a lucky shot in and knock his ass out, because she could. But in general, a man, a biological man, has more muscle mass. I mean, ask those poor girls in that had to do that swim meet with that Tia, whatever the hell its name is. And they were in there being traumatized because he's in the locker room with them, toweling off, and he's like, what, 6'3", 6'4", and dingling just flapping in the breeze. I mean, biological male. This person says it best.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Okay, what else do I got? Biden sucks. Okay. I do vote Republican. I voted for Trump the last 2 times. But he was not my first choice, but I will vote my party. Let's see. That was spoken on. Idiots. Oh, gun control. Gun control to me means not squeezing the trigger, holding your breath before you take a shot, and getting a nice grouping. That's gun control, controlling your gun. I do own firearms, and I feel sorry for the person that breaks into my house, because they will be scraping you off the wall. No matter how many laws you put on the books, nothing is going to stop a bad person from getting a gun, because they're bad people, so they don't obey the rules. Like, I go to a gun store, or I go to a what's it called, a gun show, and just because you buy a gun at a gun show, yes, you do have to have a background check. They do run background checks, because I used to sell firearms for a living, and every weekend when we would have a gun show, the firearms counter that I worked at would get jam-packed. Well, not the counter, but the FDLE background check database would get bogged down to like 4 or 5 hours. So people would be having to wait 4 and 5 hours because there were so many background checks being done from the gun show. So yeah, they do have to do background checks. So check that bullshit at the door. Now, you can pass as many common sense gun laws as you want, because last time I checked, criminals didn't obey the law, which is pretty much the definition of criminal. So if you put like, okay, an 18 to 21 year old cannot buy a rifle, cannot buy a handgun, guess what? The Second Amendment says they can. It says shall not be infringed. Just because an 18-year-old did a shooting doesn't mean every single time someone does a shooting that they're going to be an 18-year-old crazy person. Now you want to get technical? Out of the last 4 shooters, the last 2 school shooters, if I'm remembering correctly, were both transgender. So maybe, just maybe, we should say that it should be illegal to be transgender, because there is a 0.1% chance that a transgender person might become a mass shooter. That's the same logic that these people are using to try to make so 18 to 21 year olds cannot buy a firearm. So if that applies to those 18 to 21, then the whole transgender mass shooter, they should take that into consideration too, because hey, I mean, the last 2 that I'm aware of were transgender. So if you're going to walk the walk and talk the talk, you better back it up. In closing, please use your common sense. Don't go out like the Democrats do, and Antifa and BLM, and burn shit up, because these idiots are just burning down their own shit right now. Now when they start coming to your town and start burning shit up, you can do something about it. But till then, keep your shit together, keep your socks in the drawer, keep your powder dry. Take care of yourselves. God bless you. God bless America. Vote Republican. Have a great day.